Knicks fans, welcome back to another session of Knicks Couch Report here on Knicks Bros TV. Last time we checked in with you guys, we were on a almost 6 game losing streak. Basically, I'm going to recap the Utah game for you guys just very briefly, just because I'm really fed up talking about the losses that we did have. We ended up losing that game 102 to 100. What a heartbreaker toward the end, because to be quite honest with you guys, and I apologize for the lighting, it's just really late at night. Um, One thing that bothered me about that game was, we stuck in it for the most part, and it was such an up and down game. I really wanted us to be able to win that game, but we weren't able to. A couple of key things that really bothered me about that game was just Carmelo Anthony at first just couldn't establish anything, but definitely ended up playing much better toward the end. But again, we lost that game 102-100. But the main reason for this video is going to be today's game against the Denver Nuggets, where Carmelo Anthony comes back and plays his old team um, in Madison Square Garden. Our starting lineup for this game was Quincy Acee, Carmelo Anthony, Dallenberg, Larkin, and J.R. Smith. The entire season, especially the off season, I gave J.R. Smith a very, very difficult time. Here's the thing. I think going into 2015, and I was telling this to my brother earlier today, is Shumpert. No matter what, I don't think Shumpert's going to be with the New York Knicks next year. J.R. Smith, on the other hand, I think he can write his own future with the Knicks. Meaning, if he performs on the same level that he did tonight, then he definitely can be part of this team. He can be our second go-to guy if he really wanted to. Here's the thing with J.R. Smith. The reason why, I think J.R. Smith can put himself next to a secondary guy next to Carmelo Anthony is because the thing with J.R. Smith is even though he misses a shot, he has the courage to come back and shoot another one and make up for it. Something that Shumpert and Hardaway both lack. So J.R. Smith, not only did he have a good offensive game by having 28 points, he also had a really good defensive game as well. One thing that is one of JR's struggles is just turning the ball over. He has some really silly mistakes. He tries to be very pretty with the ball and sometimes can turn the ball over, in which he did in this game. He turned the ball over 5 times. And the same thing goes with Carmelo Anthony. He's been a slow starter this year, but when he gets hot, he does. He had 28 points as well, and ironically, he had 5 turnovers also. Also, I want to compliment Quincy Acee. He was 3 for 7, but he had 8 points. I like Acee. I think he has been a good replacement for Chandler. The reason why I say that is he still brings that aggression and that physical presence on the floor, but he doesn't make stupid fouls. He does create fouls, quite often, but there's always a good reason for it. So that's that. Now, as far as Shane Larkin's concerned, he's doing what he can do. I don't think whether if it's Calderon or Larkin, we all know that's neither of those two guys are our future. Next 2015, I like to go into the draft and get us a point guard, but again, that's just how I feel. But what a good presence by Dallenberg. He's one of the few guys on the team that does rebound. Stoudemire had a decent game. Hardaway wasn't much of a presence. He was 2 for 4 with 6 points. But also Prigioni. Wow. Against the Utah game, he was the reason why we came back. So much respect and props to Prigioni there. And Shumpert's going to be out with a right hip injury, where I still think when he landed, it was kind of his fault. He kind of tiptoed when he was trying to hold himself up. But a couple of things I do want to talk about in this game is, and this is just something I've noticed, is we defend the 3-point so bad. It just came to a point, especially the first quarter, almost second quarter, and I want to give the credit to the head coach Derek Fisher for this. Is we gave those guys a lot of room on the 3-point line. J.R. Smith being one, Carmelo Anthony being the other, and they were just draining those 3-pointers on us. And I don't know why we don't respect their players enough to kind of body up on them, but it cost us a lot of 3-pointers in this game, and it could have totally turned really bad, but it is what it is. And then the other thing I did want to mention is a couple of rotation things that I saw from Derek Fisher. Is what he does is he does a drastic change, meaning he goes from the starters to the bench. He literally swaps 5 for 5, and what that does, it takes away the momentum that the starters had, and they bring in the bench. And if the bench is too cold and cannot shoot, in which in this case that was a prime example of it, then a lot of times we notice Denver making some sort of a comeback. So I think if you're going to start J.R. Smith, Larkin, Dallenberg, Anthony, and AC, maintain either one of those guys on the floor that's somewhat hot, and put them with the bench, in which still we are able to create some points while the starters take a breath or two. So that's that. And I don't know, we got a couple of easy games coming up. I know we're playing Milwaukee, but that's not easy at all. I mean, they just beat the Miami Heat. And then I believe we play the Sixers, and I forgot the other game that we play. I know 2 of them is away, and then we have a home game. But let's see what happens. I still don't see any good result from Carmelo Anthony and the weight loss, just for the fact that he still creates a lot of points within the paint. A lot of times you could play him as a power forward, just the way he goes about scoring right now under the rim. And what's funny is he doesn't have that weight or strength to be able to help him out. So again, we're I believe 3-7 or 3-8. It'll be nice to be able to get 2 more wins within this 3-game stretch. But let's see what happens. I know Toronto Raptors look really hot right now, and Brooklyn's been on a losing streak as well. Sixers look terrible. So it is what it is, guys. Please tell me what you think. It was an awesome game today. It was really nice to see the Knicks finally snap that losing streak. More than anything, built some confidence for that team and chemistry, and also Derek Fisher. I really want to see him succeed, and let's see what happens. Again, thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful night.